In today's video, I wanted to talk a bit about Outer Worlds 2. I have played the first one, although I didn't think it was amazing or anything. I thought it was a good game. Another reason is because I'm a massive fan of Obsidian. I've played the big game that we all know, I've also played Pentiment, Grounded, and surprisingly, a game that I've played multiple times, South Park: The Stick of Truth. So in today's video, this will just be an early impression of the first planet, and I'll just give you a little bit of an overview of what I've experienced so far. And the character creation is pretty interesting, and you can make yourself look pretty cool as well, giving yourself prosthetic arms and legs. There are also a few fun skills that you can give yourself, and there are even some negative traits that you can have as well. For me, I am extremely sickly. I wanted to talk about the first planet's exploration. So far, it's been really fun. There are lots of interesting locations and tons of secrets, and I mean tons. You really do have to look in every nook and cranny, and you usually are rewarded pretty well. I mean, some of the upgrades you can get are even permanent upgrades, like increased critical hit damage. They almost act kind of like the skill books in the Fallout games. And like I said before, you really are rewarded really well for just going off the beaten path. And this is a great way to also find weapons. And some locations are genuinely beautiful. The terrain itself at times does feel kind of flat. There are like lots of grasslands, and running from place to place in the beginning before you unlock the fast travel points was a little bit tedious. It didn't pull off of the experience or anything, it's just a small little complaint I have. What's also cool is because it's an open area, every player's experience will differ a little bit. For example, I was about 5 hours in before I got the double jump unlocked, and I was about 8 hours in before I unlocked my second companion. Because everybody is going to go do their own thing, I think everybody is going to have a slightly different story to tell, and that's going to be really fun once my friends start to play it and I hear what they did, or what they did differently from what I did. And usually those make for some really interesting conversations. Now, moving on to combat and weapons, gunplay feels tighter and more responsive than the first game. It's not groundbreaking or anything, it's solid, and I find it really enjoyable. Some of the most fun I've had with the weapons is testing out the unique weapons. Some of them are really fun and interesting to use. What's also pretty cool is you can also modify your weapons, and I would definitely suggest that you do, because they make a big difference to your weapons. You can change the sights, you can give them explosive rounds, or something pretty cool that I did is I gave my one pistol 2 barrels. There's also melee combat, but I'm not really a massive fan of melee, so I didn't really get into it. There are also stealth attacks that obviously do more damage, like if you've played Skyrim or Fallout, you know how it works. In this playthrough, I'm not doing that. I'm going straight on, balls to the wall, into the action. What's also pretty slick, going back to mentioning Fallout and Skyrim, is that there are slow-mo kills. On a side note quickly, the game does have some dismemberment and gore. Nothing over the top or crazy, but it is a nice touch. Unfortunately, enemy variety on this planet has been really limited, and you'll be fighting a lot of the same enemy. Killing these crab enemies can only be fun for so long. And I also really do like the weapon designs quite a lot more than the first game as well. It seems a lot more Western inspired so far, but I'll see as I get further into the game if there are more futuristic weapons added. But so far I'm enjoying using the revolver and the lever action rifle and making my guy look like a damn cowboy. Now I want to talk a little bit about perks and progressions. Leveling up feels really rewarding. You get 2 skill points per every level up, and every 2 level ups you get a perk point. Now depending what you put your skill points into, you can unlock some really cool and unique perks. I think this is probably one of the things I enjoy about the game the most so far, is knowing that if I do have another playthrough, depending where I put my skill points, I'll be able to have quite a different experience than what I'm having now, which gives it a little bit of replayability. One of the perks that I really liked increased my magazine size for all of my weapons, which made a massive impact in combat. Flaws are back, taking negatives for bonuses. I'm actually accepting all of them as a personal challenge to see if I can actually finish the game with all these flaws. And some of them are really, really useful, and some of them are just terrible. Like the flaw that makes you accept all the other flaws, and you can't cancel them or you can't reject them. Companions also have special combat abilities like healing, which is incredibly useful for me since I'm quite sickly and my health is being purged by flaws and also some bad choices in character creation. I'm like a glass cannon. You can also upgrade your allies by helping them do their own personal missions, and these missions so far are pretty decent, not amazing or anything, but the upgrades that you get do make quite a nice difference. And they also do give you quite a nice heap of XP, so I definitely do recommend not leaving them out, even if you are doing them for some boring characters. And while I'm talking about companions, so far there isn't really that much that I can say about them. They haven't really had too much development. I only found the second ally quite close to the end of this planet, so I haven't really spent much time with her. So when I make a complete review, I probably will go a little bit more in depth on the companions. But so far, I don't really know what to think. Now, moving on to performance and bugs, there are a few minor bugs, visual glitches, like my character not having a leg, or dead enemies floating in the air. I haven't had really anything else that was game breaking to say. But I have only done the first planet. This could still change going on further into the game. The story so far is okay, and some of the dialogue is really well written, especially some of the side content. There are a lot of cool choices that you can make, and some of them will change obviously depending on what perks you have. I like having luck, and luck has actually helped me a great deal. To be honest, some of the NPCs are quite forgettable, but the main and side missions are engaging for the most part. You do obviously have some of your fetch quests, which are just as fun as they've always been. Choices can be surprisingly dark or messed up for people who want to have a dark playthrough. My character is more neutral, I would say. He's a space gambler who is just very, very lucky. But yeah, the story has been okay, it has been interesting, and I am interested to see what happens next. Hopefully it does just pick up its pace just a little bit more. This planet does have quite a lot of content, and it has taken me over 10 hours to do it. This first planet might be a bit slow, but at least it does teach you most of the mechanics of the game. But yeah, I'm genuinely having a really fun time, and it feels much more polished and expansive than the first game. The exploration is really fun, the loot loop feels satisfying, and the improved combat really does help a lot. I'm excited to see what the new areas bring, and I'll definitely make a full review and challenge run videos soon. And if you guys enjoyed the video, please consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next one.